What up, y'all? Hope everyone's having a good day today. So, I wanted to give a review on Ghost of Tsushima. It came out a little while ago, but I hadn't been doing much in term of reviews until now. So I figured I'd start with this game. In terms of rating, I would probably rate it, I would say almost an 8 out of 10. This game was extremely fun and was definitely worth playing, and you could go through and replay it a time or two. And it really did touch in the way of the old Japanese style of samurai, being honor and family before anything else. And then it kind of adapted into something more to being able to beat the enemies. But we'll start off with the gameplay. The functions of the gameplay, the style of it, I really did like. The controls really felt smooth. I like the abilities of how they set it up, where you could have the different tools, different stuff, and you could combo it, and it felt really smooth. Like, I liked their whole bomb setup of being able to throw little like sticky bombs, bringing out, being able to use the kunais, and then or the ninja stars, if you know them as that, and then even being able to throw in those little knives and everything else. They made the options really well. And then even the being able to challenge and being able to slice up to 5 people all at one go, if you hit the stance right. The whole area of that, I thought they did a very good job. It looks like they took their time making it flush, making it smooth, and it just turned out being very good in terms of that. So I'd rate that probably almost like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 in terms of control. Graphics, the graphics were just beautiful. They did an amazing job of designing the graphics and the style of gameplay for it. It was just super crisp, super clean. Everything that you were going through just looked real. The sounds actually sounded really good with the air, the horse. It just sounded very clean and very well made in terms of the graphics and sounds. So I would probably rate that one a 10 out of 10. Now, where I would give a little tiny bit of a ding is the storytelling. Now, a lot of the people that were involved in it, I really did like. I like the Master of Bow. I like the one lady, even though she was a pretty much an angel of terror because of her whole family being killed, so she just went off the deep end. But I can understand how that would happen, especially when it's betrayal. And then the thief, I thought they really did a good job, but in my playthrough, I actually sided with her over his uncle, who, he was very stoic. He was very set in his ways, but unfortunately with his style of ways, he would lead you to ruin, because he was just all about a frontal assault. He was not really so much tactic, because he felt like any kind of deceitful things was dishonorable, which I can understand when you're holding high regard to that. But between him pretty much constantly, when you free him and get him back, he was consistently kind of more lead you to ruin style than winning style. And in terms of the enemy, after a while, the Mongols kind of got weak. They didn't really stay much of a threat once you started getting past a certain point of leveling. So, with the storytelling, the reason why I docked it is the enemies, they really didn't get, to me, much more difficult after the start. They were kind of just plain, and you'd figure that they would adapt to you a bit. They'd have some generals that would adapt a bit, and the main enemy guy, when you first fight him at the first bridge and you're being stoic, he was really impersonating, like very deadly. He was very scary to deal with. But once you got to the end, he was kind of lackadaisical, because it kind of always goes into the same fight when it came to him. But I really didn't get much out of him in terms of presence of like threat, because he was smart, but he wasn't like really beyond what I would consider an evil dude, which is what I would have expected out of him. But for story, I would give it still like an 8 out of 10, and pretty much around the minimum, because the story itself was still very good between all of the characters you deal with and the open world aspect of it. I really did like it, but I do feel like they could have did a little bit of touch-ups toward the end of the game versus the beginning. The beginning really started off amazing, but then once it got to the tail end, it kind of felt more of like a letdown. I wasn't really keen on him having to fight his uncle. I was kind of hoping that they would have had a little bit better style than that. But to each his own with that. I mean, it is what it is. But I would give it 8 out of 10 for the storytelling. I give it a 9 out of 10 for graphic. And then in terms of gameplay and control, I would give it a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, because it was very smooth. But leading up, I would give the whole game as a whole probably an 8 out of 10 to 9 out of 10. If you want a really good samurai style game that's user friendly, that's not like over the top control wise, but smooth, and a game that has really good graphic appeal and kind of the old samurai appeal, I would highly recommend this game. It's incredibly fun and definitely worth a playthrough or two if you end up deciding to play it. But that would be my rating. I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 overall. But have fun playing it if you play it, and thank you all for watching. Goodbye.